Hey, everyone. Welcome to our ESM. Oh, no, this is not our ESM. Welcome to our WYIC live boost. I am super excited to share with you on today this amazing topic that I thought would be most beneficial to our elite single mom community, because that's what we are, right? And also to those of you who are allies of elite single moms, or you are just know you're an ally, single moms, you're just in the vicinity of single moms, you want to know your part on what you can do and how you can better help, not just help, but how you can better empower the ESM community so that they can better empower the community we all live in. I hope all that made sense, because it made plenty of sense to me. So today, we're talking about the buying power of BIPOC single moms, knowing your worth, growing your impact. This is a huge deal, okay? This is very timely, I would say, because understanding the climate change, understanding the storms, understanding the winds, how things are blowing, and positioning yourself right in the middle of it. Like the eye of the storm is real, and positioning yourself right in the middle of great impact, great influence. So we are the Inner Circle family. I'm so glad you're here for this week's live boost. Again, today we are talking on a deep, or diving into a deep, powerful, and often overlooked subject: our buying power as BIPOC single moms. Understanding our buying power as BIPOC single moms, and how we can position ourselves to be of great influence in our community. You have so much influence, you have so much impact, you have so much power, but you have not tapped into it and realized it. And that's what we're doing on today. We're realizing the power. The Bible says that He has given you the power to get wealth. So you have the power to obtain wealth. You have buying power. So we're going to look into this, right? And we're going to understand what this is all about. How does this look for us in our community? Because you're probably looking at your bank accounts, you're probably looking at your paycheck, your pay stub, and you're wondering, okay, we got buying power, but I'm still robbing Peter to pay Paul, or I'm living from paycheck to paycheck, right? So you continue to rock with me during these WYIC live boosts, and I guarantee that you will come out victorious. You'll come out on the other side of poverty, which is prosperity. You'll come out on the other side of lack, which is abundant, luxurious living, right? He tells us in Psalms, talking about gracious living. That means being able to afford what you are wanting to afford, having the wealth, having the riches, having the prosperity, having the finances at your disposal, so that you may be able to comfortably live this life, because he said that I come that you may have life, and life more abundant. So he wants you to have an abundance of life, and we're understanding that on today. So do me a really quick solid here, because I want to know are who's all joining on today. So if this is your first time joining, I want you to put a 1 in the comments, and if this is your second time joining, drop that 2 in the comments, and if this is your third time joining, drop that 3 in the comments, as well as your location, like the city or the state or the continent that you are joining from, the country you're joining from, so we can see the impact that these lives, or this YouTube, how it's reaching, and those that are tuning in, and how God is just expanding and just showing up in every area of our world. Okay, not just in America, not just in Europe, not just in these very dominant wealthy countries, but he's in these countries that are struggling as well. And it just takes the right mindset, it takes the right focus, it takes like seeing that God is with us. He is the same God no matter where we are in our country. And I just want to speak that into your life. So we've gotten all of the housekeeping out of the way. So again, if this is your first time joining, drop that 2 in the comments. If this is your second time joining, drop a 3 in the comments. If this is your third time joining, drop a second time joining, drop a 2. Your third time, drop a 3 in the comments. And we're going to welcome everyone into this space. Okay, how does that sound? How does that sound? Okay, so thank you so much. If you got the notification and you decided to jump in, I really appreciate you for being here. Normally these are at 1 p.m., but I had a lot of stuff to take care of before I got to this point. But I wanted to make sure that we bring to you your WYIC live boost, because some of you are in need of this boost. It's Wednesday. You got this massive, project, or this massive, challenge that weighing on your mind, and you need that extra dose of encouragement, empowerment, that extra dose of strategy or solution to help you overcome the challenge that you're faced right now. So many of you are in need of this, and I dare not take it away from you by allowing other other events of my day to make you miss exactly what you need. So I was determined to be in this on this live with you on today. So all my YouTube family, love you so much. Thank you so much for joining on this lovely afternoon. And all my Facebook family, friends, thank you all so much for joining on this lovely afternoon. Now, this is the part of the I, because we're talking about every week we do a different part of my framework, the WYIC framework, which stands for What's Your I Can. So we just broke it down into a framework to help build and structure you in a way that is repetitive, right? Repetition, consistent, right? So that's something that is bite-sized and you can easily take it with you and begin to know where you are in your life. The W stands for wonder. The Y stands for yield. The I, which is what we're dealing with on today, is taking inventory. So what does this have to do with the buying power of BIPOC single moms? Knowing your worth, growing your impact. How does inventory, which is the I and the WYIC framework, how does this, fit into where I am, into my life? That's where we take a real look at what we already have in our hands. What do we already have in our hands? The buying power that we already have in our hands. This is what the inventory is all about. It's about our skills, knowing the skills, our resources, knowing our influence. That's power. You have something in your hands that no one else can take away. You can give it away, you can give it up, but no one else can take from you when you understand what you possess. So the inventory is about taking a quick look inside your external and internal. And yes, even our dollars. Even our dollars. You may be saying again, Christy, you know what? This is where I'm a little shaky. This is where I'm a little vulnerable. This is where I'm a little weak. This is where I need to be strengthened in. Listen, don't worry about the dollars, okay? Don't worry about what you don't have. We are only taking inventory, and also what you do have. If you only have $5 to your name, you have buying power, okay? Somebody wants that $5 in exchange for something they are trying to sell, right? Something they are trying to, get into your hands. You have buying power. You're like, how do I have buying power with only $5? Keep tuning in, and we're going to unpack this in a beautiful way. You want to also make sure that you're taking copious amounts of notes so that you can have something to go back and, remind yourself of. I have buying power. I want you to go ahead and speak that and declare that in the atmosphere. I have buying power, because anything that you put I am in front of becomes a reality. So I have buying power. Anything that you put I am, we're talking about the same thing here, right? It becomes your reality. So if you've ever felt like your money is too small, is this you? Have you ever felt like your money is too small to matter, or like your financial voice isn't loud enough? Stay with me. Okay, do not go anywhere, because I promise you, you're going to feel the wealth, you're going to feel the riches, you're going to feel the power that you actually have. Okay, so by the end of today's session, you'll see just how much power you really have and how it affects not only your personal life, but your children, your community, and even the city you live in. So, why this topic matters, you want to really understand, and I really want you to understand it and put into your DNA. I want to change your very being, the very core of who you are, right? So, I want you to put this into your DNA. I want you to really take full control and power over what you are hearing. So, why this topic matters? So, we're going to do a problem and perspective shift here. Are you ready? So, let me clear something up first. There's a big difference between materialistic and being a responsible citizen who spends money in a way that keeps businesses open. In church, if you grew up in church where you've heard of not being materialistic and all the things, not always want to buy and all the things, right? And not looking, having a healthy perspective. Now you're in a place where you're going to get a healthy perspective, right? Maybe you've heard about spending and lasciviousness and greed and all of, accumulating wealth or accumulating things. You're just getting things, but now you are having a perspective shift on, now you can be intentional. You can understand now how you're positioning your dollars. You can understand where your dollars are going and what your dollar is doing to the community, right? So you want to understand the impact that you have when you go and spend money in a way, because it keeps businesses open, it keeps workers employed, and your local economy strong. So when you start to hoard, this is why the word of God talks about the person who stored up, he got a lot of money, he was accumulating a lot of wealth, and he was looking at all that he had. And I feel like this story is in the New Testament. And when he looked at all that he had, he decided that he was going to build him another barn house, so that put another bank, in other words, a safe to keep his wealth in, to keep his money in. Why was that a problem? Because he wasn't giving back into the community. He wasn't spending back into the community, helping someone to keep their job, helping the community to continue to grow, helping the local economy to stay strong. In other words, when he was keeping and holding on to his finances, he was hoarding and causing someone else to lose out. What you do matter to the next person. What you spend matters to the next person, right? Your generation, to your community, to that local mom and pop store. It matters. So when I say spend wisely, we help create jobs. This is what I mean by spending wisely. We keep unemployment rates down. We fuel growth right here in our own backyard in places like Round Rock, or for those of you who are from my hometown, Oxford, Mississippi, right? That's what healthy economics looks like. And I want to give you just this. I feel like this is a crash course for those of you who do not really understand economics and why it matters and how important that is in our community. This is the purpose of um, having a healthy economics, and you having buying power. And I've seen it in my own life when I started paying attention to where my money was going. I pay attention to where my money is going, being intentional to where I spend, not just because there's a trend, not just because, oh, I am, I do love supporting, but at the same time understanding why I'm supporting. Is this going back into the community? Is what you are doing only for yourself, or are you serving the community? Are you helping to build? Are you helping to grow? Are you helping to employ? So what is it that your company is doing or your business is doing that you want me to support your business? I get so many DMs about purchasing things, supporting your business, buy this from me, and do this, support my business by doing A, B, and C. So just like any successful business people or successful people in general, they look at the purpose and they take a look behind and see, where is my money going? Where is my money going? Why is it going there? And that is going to help you to understand that, am I going to spend it here, or am I going to invest it in something that is going to be beneficial, not just for the individual, for the community, right? So just a tidbit on how if you want to know how do I spend, just a tidbit on how I spend. When I started paying attention again, I realized I wasn't just buying groceries or gas. I wasn't just buying groceries. So that's why I love shopping at HEB, because I understand how their business works, how they give back to the community, how they are, employing, young people, older people, how they are, just impacting with their Christmas dinners or Thanksgiving dinners or drives that they're doing. And so I look at why I am shopping at the places that I shop at, or even when I shop at the local farmers market. I understand the purpose of me shopping in these places. So they're shopping with wisdom, I would say, shopping with intentionality, I would say. So here you are, here I am. I wasn't just buying these things, I was building stability. So I understand and want you to understand that you are building stability for your kids and I was contributing to my community's growth. So when you are spending, understand, are you putting money where your community will grow? Are you putting money to where your community will, impact the next generation, or the next, park that's being made in your community, or the next business that's being built, or the next person that needs to borrow from the bank to open up their business, or take out a mortgage, or whatever the case may be? Understanding that your money is being recycled, your money is help building. So you want to find places where you see that is thriving, and you want to invest in those places. It's going into investments. You want to invest in those places, right? To where you see that it is thriving, they're growing, they're impacting not only just the local community, but also they're impacting other people in different, if you want to look at a global, aspect, globally, how is it impacting people globally, right? Because that's another story for another day. So here's something that shocked me, okay? According to a recent Nielsen report, Black buying power in the U.S. is projected to exceed $1.8 trillion by. It was projected to exceed this by 2024. This was just last year. Now think about this. A large percentage of Black women are single mothers. Now, if you are a single mother, I want you to drop SM in the comments for me. If you're a single mama in a BIPOC community, Black, Indigenous, people of color, that's what BIPOC means. So if you're not a person of color, then you are not a BIPOC single mom. But if you are a single mom, I want you to put SM in the comments as well. So let's look at this. We are the largest percentage of Black women are single mothers. That means our decisions at the checkout line, online or in store, carry massive weight. This means you have buying power. What you buy or don't buy determines what they're going to keep on their shelves. Did you know that? What you buy or don't buy determines what they're going to restock. What you buy and don't buy determines if they're going to close this out, do a 2-for-1 special, whatever the case may be, because you have buying power at the checkout line, because we are the majority of single moms, and we're changing our perspective on being single moms. Well, why do I feel so guilty? Why do I feel so vulnerable? Why do I feel so, unable to get ahead? Because it goes to what you're buying. What are you buying? How are you investing? There's a whole ordeal, right? When we make smart financial choices, listen to this. When we make smart financial choices, it doesn't just affect our households. Remember that when you make smart financial choices, so before you go to that grocery store all hungry, be sure to make sure you set out time. This is planning your week, okay? This is planning out your goals. This is planning and seeing what you are doing next week, this week. I have a calendar up in my house, and every Sunday, my sons and I sit down and we look at our week. We look at what's going on. I plan out in my mind, okay, what are we eating? What do y'all want to eat? And look at our pantry, look at our refrigerator. What do we have? So when you are intentional about your week, about your groceries, about your, healthcare, or what you are buying, your personal things, right? You are making smart financial choices. So it doesn't just affect our households. Listen, it sets a ripple effect into motion. What you do determines the checkout person, how much they're making, if they're going to keep, stay employed or not, right? From local businesses, so it sets a ripple effect into motion, from local business owners, to city development, to the kind of neighborhood our kids grow up in. I am shifting. I want you to see beyond what you're seeing right now. I want you to see beyond buying those Nikes, see beyond buying just for the name brand, just because, oh, it costs this. I want you to see beyond this, right? Just because you want to keep up with the Joneses and all the things, right? So you are making smart buying or financial choices with your funds. Is this going to help my community look better, and I can send my children out to my park, to where they could play on the playscape? We can take a walk around the park, or I can ride I can go and work out, something I enjoy doing every morning, go and work out at the park. Or does this affect my children and what is built in my community? So I want to purchase in my community. I want to shop in my community. That's why it's good to shop locally. Okay, it's so great to shop locally. We're going to talk about that another day, probably. And so, because it helps to develop the kind of neighborhood your kids, our kids, grow up in. So we want to tie all this. How does this all work with the WYIC framework? Okay, you probably thought I just got off the subject. We're talking about black buying power. We're talking about buying power. We're not talking about black buying power. We're talking about the buying power of BIPOC single moms, knowing your worth, growing your impact. You are valuable. See how valuable you are. What you go and the coffee shop, you go and make your purchase of a coffee. You are powerful. It tells them if they're going to stay in business or not. That's the type of buying power you have. So when you make your decisions to shop this week, to shop next week, shopping for Christmas, shopping for Thanksgiving, understand why you are shopping at these places, because you are in control of who stays and who goes. You are in control. And that's what people don't want you to know. That's what some people, the gatekeepers, don't want you to understand in the BIPOC community. You have the power to say what stays and what goes, not the other way around. They put certain types of businesses in certain communities, to keep them at a disadvantage. But when you stop, just say these loan companies, okay, where their interest rates are so high, but you can get some money, the title day loans, or same day, whatever those places are called, where you trade your tag in, your title in for some money, right? But the interest rate is so higher than how much you are, getting, right? And by the time you get through paying back that loan, you done paid it off 50 times already. But they put these type of places, businesses, in these type of communities. So know why these places are in your community, and how you are giving them the power to stay in your community, instead of saying, no, I have buying power. I get to determine what I'm spending my money on. I get to determine if I'm going to be the lender or the borrower. And God told me that I am the lender. I am not the borrower. So therefore, these same day title loan companies has to get out of my neighborhood. Right? So when you understand the power that you have, you begin to look at the landscape differently. You begin to identify those money snatching, companies that are there to weaken you instead of strengthening you. Right? Yes. Oh, I have this issue. I can't pay this bill, and da da da. That's another subject for another day. But getting your finances in order, understanding that you don't need all of the things that people are pushing in front of your face. You are in control of what stays and what goes. I need you to say that to yourself. I need you to type that in the chat. I am in control of what stays and what goes. I am in control of what stays and what goes. Okay. So if this today was about opening your eyes, okay, I want you to know, I want your eyes to be open. So how does this tie in? We want to talk about that for a moment. How does all what I said tie in to this WYIC framework, talking about the inventory? Okay, we're talking about the inventory. So what does this have to do with the WYIC framework? The I in WYIC stands for inventory. Inventory. So the first thing that comes to your mind when you're thinking about inventory, it probably, you probably think about when you're at work and you're taking inventory of what you have, like the pens and paper clips and cups or notebooks or computers or the resources. Inventory, taking stock of what you have, what you're capable of. So this is what the inventory is about yourself, taking stock of what you have and what you are capable of, and how you're already influencing the world around you. See, I just put you on game on how you're already influencing the world around you. So either you can change positions, you can shift your mindset and shift how you are allowing yourself to be influenced, or you can shift into the influencer, right? You can be the one that says my money matters, and if you want to stay in business, then you get to say, I'm going to either, this is what I want or this is what I don't want, right? You have buying power. Thank God for the economy that we live in. Okay, because if you were in somewhere where you didn't have buying power and it was produced on different, like China, I think was one country that, you pretty much had to, they determined what was being produced and you had to buy what was being produced instead of you determining what is produced, and you're the consumer and you get to say what I want and what I don't want. Okay, so how you spend your money matters. Where you spend your money matters. Okay, so the I in inventory, the I in WYIC means inventory, what you're capable of and how you are already influencing the world around you. You are already shaping the world around you, whether you believe it or whether you know it, whether you are, care about it or not. Your money matters. Where you spend it. So we don't want to be a snob about it, though. Just because you're learning and understanding my money matter and I have the buying power and what I say goes, don't mean you get to be a snob. That is not being elite at all. We gracefully, right, show up in these spaces. We gracefully let them know, oh, this not working for me. Either you can stop shopping there or you can do reviews, tasteful reviews, okay? Good reviews. Don't always have something quick negative to say about someone without. It's like building a sandwich, right? You have the compliment, you have the meat. Okay, this is what's going on. This is what I feel I can change. And then you put another bread on it to make a nice little sandwich. Okay, so that people would be able to digest and say, oh, I didn't realize this about myself, or I didn't realize this about my business, or I didn't know that this is what the customers are wanting or consumers are wanting. So you have the buying power. Don't be a snob. Let your speech be always with grace. Let it be always with grace. Okay, don't be a snob about understanding that you have the buying power. That's not the type of single moms that we are developing or that we are becoming. That is not this type of single mom that you are wanting to impact the world. Okay, so inventory just means checking what's in your wallet. It's not that. It's not just checking what's in your wallet, but it's deeper than that. It's about checking your financial habits. Check your financial habits. What are you doing financially? How are you spending? Where are you spending? What does your paper trail look like? Look at your receipts. What are you spending more money on? Right? Things that are not, that are worthless. Like be cognitive of what you're spending. Okay. Know where your money is going. Know how your money is being spent. Okay. So you do this every day. So, but it's deeper than that. It's about checking your financial habits, your mindset about money, and your community impact. Checking your financial habits, your mindset. Don't just swipe, and then you don't know where your money gone to when you're asked about your finance, or you got to go borrow because now you're living from paycheck to paycheck because you're not being in tune with your finances. You're not being in tune with where your money is going Your money can work, it's supposed to work for you. Your money is supposed to be your slave, not you being slave to your finances. You being slave to a job because now I gotta go to work so I can make some money so I can pay this bill because I put this on credit and I didn't have the money. That is not the lifestyle that we live. That is not the lifestyle of the elite. That is not the lifestyle of women or single moms that are wise, wealthy, single moms. That is not the lifestyle, and that is not what we're going to continue to flow in. We are flowing into a lifestyle of sophistication, a lifestyle of eliteness, right? It's about checking these places so that and seeing how you are impacting your communities. Listen, John Maxwell said this. He once said, you can't change your life until you change something you do every day. You can't change your life until you change something you do every day. So I want you to take inventory. This is what the inventory is all about. Taking stock, taking note of something that you do every day that is negatively impacting or influencing how your community show up for you. What's been built in your community? What's been built in your backyard? If you're being pushed out, if you're being whatever, gentrification, all the things impacts, right? So what are you doing every day? What are you doing every day that you need to change so that you can see the results that you want to see in your community? Buying power. You have buying power. You have buying power. And this same applies to money. You can't change your financial future until you change how you see. Come on. You can't change your financial future until you change how you see. You cannot change your financial power, your financial future until you change how you see. This takes some soul work. This takes some going back into youth and your childhood and your parents or what you heard across the pulpit. You know, what have you been hearing that has kept you in a place of, well, you know what? I'm just going to spend this dollar. I'm just going to spend this, or ain't no use of me saving this. And this is, you know, I need to go get. How are you, you know, applying, or how are you seeing the finances? What type of relationship do you have with your money? Do you have a healthy relationship or a poor relationship? Go back and check your receipts. Go back and see where you've been spending majority of your money on. Is it majority on your money on clothes? Is it on adventures? Is it on, you know, it's okay to enjoy this life, but enjoy this life smart. Enjoy. He wants you to have an abundant life, but be smart about it, because what you spend determines what stays. Okay, it determines what stays in your home. The Bible says wealth and riches are in my home. That cannot be true if you're constantly spending, if you're constantly, you know, in things, in areas that are not contributing to wealth and riches in your home, because it recycles. It recycles. All right. So you want to be sophisticated in your spending. You want to be classy in your spending. Okay. All right. Are y'all with me so far? Okay, so let's keep it going. You can change. You can't change your financial future until you change how you see and use the resources you have right now. What you gonna do with that $5? You may say, "Oh, it's only $5. It's only $10. It's only $20." Right? You may just look at it as this is just a little that I have. Guess what? That little, if you put it in the right place, can turn into a lot. That little can change your financial future if you play your financial future cards right. That little bit it only takes, I believe in Texas, it's only $10 to get your business started here in Texas, right? To file it for a DBA, and that lasts for 10 years. $1. See, you got a business. So that $10 is only $10. But when you put it in the right place, if you have a vision, you have a purpose, knowing your definite purpose, then that $10 can change your financial future. Okay? So your spending is a vote. Your spending is a vote. For every dollar you spend, support someone's business model. Are you voting for businesses that strengthen your community? Come on, somebody. Are you voting for businesses that strengthen your community? You don't have to shop at that place that's not strengthening your community. Is it strengthening the BIPOC community? That's the community. Let's break it all the way down to the community I'm talking about. Is it strengthening your community? Now, is it strengthening your community as a whole, the Round Rock community, the Oxford community? Is it strengthening? Is it helping you to see businesses and see resources come in that is going to be beneficial? It is going to give you a UIL or UTL. I can't think of the word right now. Is it going to be beneficial? What kind of usage are you going to get out of the businesses that you are supporting? Is it going to continue to strengthen you? Are you going to be able to continue to strengthen it? So you vote what stays. You vote what goes. Your habits are teaching your kids what you are doing. Your habits are teaching your kids. Your habits. Sometimes we think about everybody else is teaching my children this, that, and the other. I don't want them to learn about this in school, but what are they learning in the school of your house, in the school of your home? You are their first financial teacher. You are their first financial guru, right? You could be a poor one, or you can be one that is an expert. So you are their first. What they see you do, they mimic. What they see you do, they copy. You are the first person they want to be like. They don't want to be like Mike, who that's old, but who they want to be like now. They don't want to be like them. They just need, that's a story for another day. So your habits are teaching your kids. They're watching you, not just hearing what you say about money, but seeing how you handle it. What books do you have? Not just collecting dust on your shelf. What books do you have that will be able to support their financial future? What books do you have that they will be able to read, that you'll be able to pass down to them? Because look, I read this and this is what I gleaned and gained out of this. And this is why I'm able to invest in companies, to invest in real estate, to invest in other businesses, because this book has given me the blueprint. So I'm passing this on to you because now you're of age, because that you are able to now make those financial decisions. I've given you, I've shown you, I was the model. Now I'm passing the torch so that you may be able to continue a successful financial life. They are watching you, not just hearing what you say about money, but seeing how you handle it. So your awareness builds your authority. When you understand your buying power, you can walk into rooms or even city hall where you understand your buying power. That means understanding what's coming in and what's going out, and saying this is what we don't want because this is hurting the community that I'm in. This is what we would like to have, because, and coming with the full report. Don't just show up and demanding stuff, but show up with your report. Show up with statistics. Show up with how this can improve the community and how can it improve the city, right? Showing up saying, if we do this, if we have this in our community, this is going to change the way we it give us a better perspective on life. It's going to help my children to go outside and be more engaged with outdoors, whatever the case may be. Show up with a report. Show up knowing that you know what you're talking about. You did your homework. You spied out the land. You investigated. You saw the numbers. You were ready to present something that is going to help them see things differently and say, you know what, we're going to take a look at this and then we're going to make a decision on this. And you want that decision to be in your favor. So this is how your habits are teaching, and this is how what you do helps you to show up in City Hall, right? And have a voice in your and how your community grows. Your awareness builds your authority. When you understand your buying power, you can walk into rooms or even City Hall and have a voice in how your community grows. Stop mumbling. You won't have to mumble and complain about the policymakers, because where there's wealth, there is power. Where there is wealth, there is power. Where there is power, there is wealth. It follows one another. Okay, so here's my challenge for you this week. Are you ready? Track where your dollars are going, even just for 3 days. 3 days. Track where your dollars are going. Choose at least one purchase you can redirect to a local or a Black-owned business or a BIPOC business, right? Black, Indigenous, people of color. to a BIPOC business. So choose at least one purchase you can redirect to a local or a BIPOC business. Choose one. Something that keeps resources flowing right where you live. This is what you want to stay in your community, right? But you also want to have a generous pot to where it not only stays in the community. Now we got enough so it can flow into other communities. Now we got enough to so that it can flow into, across, the seas. I can invest in other, communities that is like us, and I want to see them growing, right? Other BIPOC communities. I want to see them become a successful, community to where they have in their backyard good water or good food or a park or a school or resources that they can use. I want to be able to now invest in those communities globally, right? So choose at least one purchase you can redirect to a local or BIPOC owned business, something that keeps resources flowing right where you live. Have a money talk with your children. Have a money talk with your kids. Wealthy families, they sit around the table and constantly discuss finances, wealth, economics, investments, the stocks. These are the things that wealthy, successful, families they talk about. This is what they sit, they eat. This is, I want to use it as this. This is their daily bread, right? So you want to have a money talk with their kids to where they understand it. They know how to calculate. They know how to look and say, I'm not going to shop here, but I'm going to shop here. They understand their buying power. They understand that what I spend in this community, it's helping my community to grow. And if we need a boys and girls club in this community, my money matters. If we need Angelique Vision Reclaim Co. in this community, my money matters. So we want to put in this community resources that is going to help us to grow. If I need a better home, if I need a home that is going to suffice in a good community, I don't have to leave my community. We can build up my community because my money matters. I want you to say that with me. My money matters. My money matters. Try saying that fast. I have to take time to say that so I can articulate that correctly, right? Almost felt like a little tongue twister there, right? So have a money talk with your kids. Share one thing you learned this week about your own buying power. Take an inventory. Don't just be loose with your finances. Then you're complaining about not having what you need when you need it because you have misuse the resources. The word of God let us know to be good stewards. He wants us to steward well the resources that we have, the little that you have. He don't want you to go and bury it. He don't want you to take that one and say, oh, just because it's one and somebody else has 5 and 10, I'm just going to take my one and I'm just going to bury it. Meaning putting it into a place that is not going to create healthy resources or a good return and come back into your home, right? So that money is going to come back to you in some form. What you put out there is going to come back to you. You are sowing a seed. Your money is a seed, and where you're planting that seed is going to grow. So you want to put your money in soil that is fertile, soil that is nutritious. So look at the community, look at the businesses before you just shop before you just shop in BIPOC communities or oh, this person has this candle or I want to buy this, I'm going to support their business. Is that business pouring back into the community? Is that business pouring back into your life? How is that business recycling? Or are they hoarders? They are having everything for themselves, building their barns, but never releasing anything. Come on, somebody. So at Angelique Vision Reclaim Co., I'm all about helping single moms like you realize your value, not just in the workplace or in business, but in the economy. In the economy. When you reclaim your vision, you don't just change your life. When you reclaim your vision, you don't just change your life. You influence an entire city. Oh my gosh, that is big. That is mind blowing. You influence an entire city. There is 140,000 people in Round Rock. 140,000 people in Round Rock in this city. And I look at myself and I say, I influence this city. So what am I doing today that is going to influence this city? I'm changing this city. I'm impacting this city. So what am I saying? How am I showing up? Today when I went on my run, I was praying and I was, letting God know that I belong to him, all the things, concentrate myself. And I was being reminded that my hello is influential. My how are you doing today is influential. I'm shifting that person's mindset. Maybe they don't really get spoken to, on jogs or when they're walking their dogs or when they are just, walking and exercising. But I decide that I'm the one that's going to shift the atmosphere out here. I'm going to speak to those. If they have a puppy, guess what? I'm out for the fur babies. I speak to the dogs. How are you? First asking permission, but I'm shifting. I am influencing my community. So today was about opening your eyes to your financial impact. You're not just surviving. I want you to say that to yourself. I am not just surviving. We're past that. You're growing up. You're maturing. You're over that. You're not a victim. You're not desperate for anything. You are not in want of anything because God has already said wealth and riches are in your home. Now it's up to you to decide what's in my home and look at the finance that you have and say, am I going to choose to spend this on Big Mac? If it's $5, if it's $10, or am I going to go and spend this on a coffee? Or am I going to invest in what God has given me so that I can grow and cause greater impact in my community? Because what I'm sowing in fertile ground, so there is no other choice but to be production, a harvest for me to glean and partake of, right? Because the Bible says it, that you are to partake of what you grow. Not first give it all out to everybody else and don't have anything for yourself. You are to be the first partaker of what you grow, what you produce. That's a whole nother subject for another day. So you are shaping economics, setting examples, and raising future leaders. You are raising future leaders. Your example by what you are the greatest influencer in that person in your child's life. You are the greatest influencer. Subconsciously, you are doing things that is shaping who they are, shaping their minds, shaping how they view their economy and what you're saying, what you're speaking. Change your language. Let your language be with grace. The Bible talks about, we were just reading in 2 Timothy, I believe, 1 and 2, 2 and 1, I believe, praying for the authorities. Let them hear you praying for your local authorities, not bashing them, not talking down on them, not saying, oh, the Democrats this or Republicans this. No, it's about what you are doing. You have buying power. You have to say so. But what the enemy has done, he came and he stole your buying power because you weren't aware of it. The Bible says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge because they are ignorant. You have buying power. You have it. So if this sparks something in you, drop the words buying power in the comments or the chat. Let's keep this conversation going. And if you're not on my WYIC Inner Circle email list yet, listen, there's a QR code over here that you can go ahead and scan so you can get in the Inner Circle community, okay? I share some yummy things in the community, all right? And also get inside this Inner Circle mentorship program. So you can do all of that. When you scan this QR code, you have two options. You can do the $20 options it's just $20 a month, or you can do the prorated or not the prorated, the bonus or not the bonus, the discounted option where you go ahead and pay up for the entire year and you have a nice little discount on that for paying for the entire year. So I want you to go ahead and drop buying power in the comments. I want you to keep the conversation going with me by joining my email circle. You're missing the deeper dive if you're not in the inner circle, right? And also on my email list. Get connected so you don't miss what's coming next. So go ahead, that little right there, that thing, go ahead, hit that QR code. I'll leave you with this reminder from John Maxwell. And this is what he said: change is inevitable. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. Let's choose to grow financially, personally, and as a community, neighborhoods, and our future. This is Christy Angeli with your WYIC Life Boost. Change, transform, live. I'll see you next Wednesday.